This episode of Not Too Deep is brought to you by our good buddies at Squarespace. A dream is just a great idea. It doesn't have a website yet. You know who says that? Squarespace. You can make that dream a reality with Squarespace. They make it easy to turn your idea into a unique website, showcase your work, blog, or publish content, even sell products and services of all kinds in just a few clicks. And with 24/7 award-winning customer support, you can customize everything from look and feel to settings and products using beautiful templates created by world-class designers. And there's nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever. So head on over to squarespace.com/grace for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code GRACE, that's GRACE, to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Not too deep with Grace Helbig.
Woo!
Wow, you sound so enthusiastic, Grace. Calm down.
Well, yeah, I have to give kind of a precursor to this episode that my voice sounds like this because I was at WrestleMania all weekend.
I know. How was that?
It was, I mean, this episode will come out about a month after.
Sure.
But it was goddamn fantastic.
Yeah.
And the fact that I even have a voice is unreal to me. I fully expected like post VidCon, like whisper
I
syndrome.
expected that as well.
Yeah, we were filming episodes of This Might Get yesterday, and literally Michael Goldfriend was like forcing Mamrie and I to drink tea all day.
Sure.
Which was helpful. Turns out tea helps.
Smart.
Yeah, super smart.
I mean, for you too, it's also like this perfect storm of WrestleMania and in New Orleans.
And in New Orleans. So if the event of wrestling wasn't enough, we were in the easiest city to get completely shit-faced in ever. It was super, super fun. It's just, and then they immediately start like, so WrestleMania is basically their Super Bowl. And then the Monday after, they have it on Sunday. The Monday after, they start Raw, and then Tuesday they do SmackDown, which basically starts their new season immediately.
Wow.
Yeah, so these guys do not stop. They're a lot like Broadway performers, where they're just like constantly going, constantly performing. It's really impressive. It's very cool.
So how did it like compare to, because you've been to a lot of wrestling events now, but this is your first WrestleMania, right?
No, I went to WrestleMania. First WrestleMania was with Jarrett Sleeper and Mamrie last year in Orlando.
Okay.
And that was one of those things where we had never been before. There were no expectations, so everything was just like amazing. I barely made it to WrestleMania last year because we all got there the night before, went out the night before, and I couldn't even like get out of bed in the morning. They went to Rainforest Cafe, Mamrie and Jarrett.
Sure.
I don't know how they did it. And I just tried to save up all of my energy. But this year, they actually invited us down the WWE. And so we got to do some of the events beforehand.
I saw you got very dressed up.
Yeah, we went and saw the Hall of Fame, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And it's basically like their Oscars, where they induct a bunch of different wrestlers and performers, and then they give speeches. And it's funny to see all the wrestlers like in like formal wear, which is kind of like silly, but
a lot of very tight suits.
Yeah, a lot of custom suits happening in that audience.
Sure.
And then we went to this other wrestling event the night before WrestleMania that were these two others. It was, what was it? It was two other Impact Wrestling and shoot, I'm going to forget it, but it was two other like genres or whatever you call them, sectors of wrestling that aren't up to WWE yet.
Sure.
It was so amazing. It was so athletic because these are all the guys that are hungry to get into WWE.
Sure.
And so they have all these events in the city, these like underground events. And it was so, so cool. So it was just a lot of oiled bodies all weekend.
Sure.
Yeah. It was super fun. And it was really cool. And I keep telling myself, this is my retirement plan, is that I'm going to be a WWE wrestler.
Okay, that's your retirement plan?
That's my retirement plan.
So when you're like reaching retirement age, you're going to step into the ring.
Yeah, the YouTube flame is dwindling for me, and the WWE flame is getting brighter and brighter every month that I continue. Yeah. But what would be if you had like an event that you either have gone to or haven't gone to, like spectacle that you want to go to or have gone to that was like, oh my God, that was insane.
Do you mean like a sporting event?
Whatever that is to you, like what's your WrestleMania to you?
I mean, I think for years, the answer would be like, my dream would be like to play a baseball game, like a professional baseball game.
To play in it.
Yeah. But I mean, I think now actually I'm getting really into cars.
Okay.
So I would like, I think that would be like the thing I would want to do now is like, go race car driving.
That you can do that here.
Yeah, I know.
There are tracks.
Yeah, I know. And I'm starting to kind of learn about that stuff because it's super interesting. It's funny because like I didn't have a car for so long because you and I lived in New York. And,
Right.
you don't have cars, whatever. But being out in LA, car culture is obviously so big here because obviously it's like
Right.
the way you get around. And I've gotten like really into cars. I've gotten really into like motorcycles. I'm learning to ride a
right. Yeah, we
motorcycle
talked
now.
about that. Yeah.
And so, and the more I kind of get into it, the more I find that I really enjoy it and I like it. And I find it
Cool.
fascinating and interesting. And like, I want to like eventually make enough money to like restore my own car and things like that.
Nice.
Like in like my garage or whatever. I mean, make enough money so I can afford a house with a garage.
There you go.
Is what I meant.
Step by step.
Anybody can restore a car.
Step by step.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that would be really, really fun to like. I saw this amazing photo the other day of Steve McQueen from like back in the day, like all decked out and like getting ready to like go racing in this like amazing souped up race car, and I was like, that is what I want to do.
That is your vision board now.
Yeah, it is totally.
Oh, I do have to make. I have to get this off my chest of the thing that I'm the most embarrassed about this weekend that happened.
Okay.
That I literally just remembered because I pushed it deep down inside of me. So at the inductee ceremony for the Hall of Fame, wrestlers, introduce other wrestlers, and wrestlers usually do like kind of bits and shticks and whatever. And they had the Dudley Boys, which are a tag team, are getting inducted. And so they had this tag team, The Edge, and now I'm forgetting what his tag team partner is, but they did a whole shtick in the beginning introducing the Dudley Boys. And they're really, really funny. And then at the final party, Renee Young, who's been on the podcast, she got Mia Mamrie and a bunch of our friends into the final party after WrestleMania, where all the wrestlers are there and they're getting trashed and having a good time because they just finished their Super Bowl and they're dressed up, and it was really awesome. And we were very, very drunk. And I never go up to anyone ever. But finally, like, we hung out with we were just kind of talking to people here and there. And then I thought I saw The Edge. And I walked up and I tapped him on the shoulder and I was like, "Hi, your Hall of Fame speech was just really funny and I really wanted to let you know that." And he goes, "I didn't give a speech."
Oh, no.
And then I was like, and I looked at him and I turned around and Brooks was right there. He goes, "That's Big Cass. That's not The Edge." And I was like, "Oh my God, we need to leave now." And I like bolted out of the party and went back upstairs, which was about the time we should have left the party anyway.
Sure.
But I was mortified. Because I was like, I never go up to anyone. I was like so sure that was him. To be fair, Big Cass, if you are listening to our podcast, I know you're an avid fan, I'm very, very sorry. And to The Edge, you got to admit, you guys look alike. Okay? I'm just going to put that out there.
There's like a Bill Pullman, Bill Paxton thing going on.
Yeah.
There.
Also, I had a lot of vodka sodas in my system at that point. So it was anybody's game.
I'm sure these things happen. It probably wasn't as bad for the other side as it was for you. But
for sure.
But I am with you, man.
Yeah.
I do not handle those kinds of embarrassing moments very well.
Oh, and this will live in me as this cringeworthy I literally was watching SmackDown last night at Big Cass. Or no, I was watching, the Andre the Giant documentary. And Big Cass is in there. And he's in this other Finn Balor documentary I was watching.
And now every time you see him.
Every single time, my just got a quick clench of my heart and my chest. And I go, God dang it. I really wanted to give a nice compliment to someone that I thought did a good job.
And it totally backfired.
So that'll keep me from ever walking up to any wrestler ever again for at least a good decade.
Yeah, I tweeted this a couple of weeks ago and I got an amazing response because I thought it was a very personal thing, but I guess a lot of people can relate to it. I wrote, "If I've ever done anything even remotely mean or awkward to you, don't worry. Know that I've been obsessively replaying it in my brain on an endless loop, along with every other thing I've ever felt bad about for my entire life." Yep. And it sounds like you can relate to that.
Happens to, yeah.
And then you have now added to your loop.
Just added another one to the Rolodex. It's really good. I know I've seen those memes that are like the Scream painting. Yes. It's just like me at 6 a.m. remembering a conversation I had 11 years ago and what I should have said instead of what I did say. Yeah. And so that's, one of those.
Literally me.
But someone else that I think has a wonderfully no filter.
Oh, yeah. Very like unashamed.
Yeah, which is so refreshing and I love it. And I'm so glad that she's back on our podcast again because I feel like we only hit the tip of the iceberg the first time she was here.
Agreed.
Meghan Rienks is here, you guys. This is so exciting. And
fellow podcaster. I got to do her podcast a couple weeks ago. It was awesome. That's out. You can listen to it. She also has a brand new movie coming out called The Honor List, which will be out on May 11th and then available for DVD on the 15th.
On the 15th. And she tells us all about it. It sounds amazing. It's her initial seed of an idea that actually became a film, which is impossible to do.
I know, it's incredible.
So I'm really glad that she's here with us. So without further delay, let's take a quick break and talk to Meghan Rienks.
Awesome.
Not too deep with Grace Helbig.
Support for today's show comes from Third Love. Armed with the measurements of millions of women, Third Love bras are designed to fit real women. That's right, I'm talking about bras. And I can say firsthand, I love this company. They sent me a couple different bras. And as a huge proponent of only wearing sports bras because I've just given up, I can say these are the equivalent of wearing a comfortable sports bra. They're so absolutely wonderful and have restored my faith in traditional bras again. There's no more awkward fitting room experiences because you can use their Fit Finder quiz and it helps you identify your breast shape and find styles that fit your body in less than 1 minute. You just answer a few simple questions. They have 60 sizes ranging from AA through G, including half cup sizing, which is the first time I've ever heard of this, which makes so much sense because not everyone is specific to one singular size. Third Love guarantees a perfect fit, and they value their comfort and quality with straps that won't slip, ultra soft smoothing fabrics, and lightweight memory foam cups. Labels are even tagless, so they're not itchy. You ladies know what I'm talking about. So plus, even get this, they go above and beyond. Returns and exchanges are always free and easy. Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone. So right now they're offering you, my beautiful listeners that like to wear bras, 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/grace now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/grace for 15% off today.
Not too deep.
Guess what, Grace?
I have one singular guess.
Go for it.
Is today's episode of Not Too Deep sponsored by our dear friends over at Squarespace?
Whoa, are you psychic? How did you know?
I just had this, these are the thoughts I had. I had think it, dream it, make it with Squarespace. I don't know, that was just in my head. Rolling around.
Wow, okay, so you definitely have some sort of medium powers.
I really feel like clairvoyancy is becoming stronger as I get older.
Well, do you have in your brain the also the idea that they've got beautiful templates created by world-class designers?
I see that.
Because they make it easy to turn your idea into a new and unique website.
I've also predicted that you can customize everything from look and feel to settings and products. And I see that it's all optimized for mobile right out of the box.
Right out of the box.
Yeah, with built-in search engine optimization.
Did you also know, Psychic Grace, that you can showcase your work, blog, or publish content, announce a special product, even sell products and services of all kinds in just a few clicks?
I did. I knew that. And then I
this
also
is impressive.
Yeah, I also knew that you can use Squarespace's analytics to help you grow in real time, and that there is nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever. And I just had a vision.
Wow. Okay. Well, just so you guys know, but if you do have a question, they've got award-winning 24/7 customer support there to help you out, which you probably felt their presence too.
Yeah,
their guiding hand.
You know what they say: keep dreaming, but make it a reality with a website from Squarespace.
But here's the thing. Let's say, I don't know, I wanted to start a free trial. How would I go about doing that?
There's this voice in my head that says squarespace.com/grace. And, when you're ready to launch, you can use the offer code GRACE, GRACE, to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Again, that's squarespace.com/grace, offer code GRACE. I'm going to go build a website that advertises all of my new psychic abilities. Wow. All right. Wow. Very soothing. Do you listen to true crimes podcasts or like cold cases?
I was listening to My Favorite Murder on the way here.
Oh yeah. Those girls are great.
Yeah, we got to get them on the podcast.
Yeah, they're buds. They I just finished Atlanta Monster.
Oh, I haven't listened to it.
It's good.
Is it storytelling-y?
It is storytelling-y. However, without spoiling, I wish the ending wasn't. I'm hoping that because
there's more.
I'm hoping that because the story's been presented the way it has, that the public something happens and it gets added to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the storytelling ones because I get too scared. Like if they're trying to creep me out, they're like, and then he walked through with a knife.
Well,
like,
no, it's actually not like that. It's more docu-style.
Like serially?
Interviews. Yeah, it's a ton of interviews and stuff like that. And it's really just really fascinating and also like terrifying.
Okay.
And also kind of plays on that whole like possibly wrongfully accused
I
thing.
like that. What was that one Netflix or no, the HBO? The HBO.
Making a Murderer?
No. The HBO, it was a mini series.
Oh, The Night of.
Nope, not that. I watched 5 minutes of that and I was like, this is not a Meghan show.
Yeah, that's
that
intense.
show's great.
It is, no, within the first, Moz tried to convince me, he's like, I think you'll be able to watch it. My friend Aislinn was over, she goes, I've read about this and it's really not a Meghan movie. She can't even handle Across the Universe when it's like trippy drug scenes. So like, I really don't think it's like 5 minutes in, there's like drugs, people are like, there's blood everywhere.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of anxiety.
So then what is the show you're trying to think of? Oz?
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, the
Robert
Jinx.
Durst,
Did you watch that?
Oh,
yes.
big time.
Okay, so I'm obsessed with that.
Great.
So that's what I like when like even if you're like it's a frustrating thing. So like I can listen to a podcast where you're like, I hope something happens now.
Isn't he getting retried?
Yeah.
He is, right? Because of that documentary.
He gets the guilty burps. The
yes.
So true.
You'd love Wild Wild Country then.
Okay.
That new thing on Netflix.
Is it about drugs?
No, it's about like a cult.
Oh,
and
is there drugs in the cult?
Hard to say.
Okay. Do you see them? I'm just not good with seeing drugs.
No, you don't see any of that.
Cool.
I don't think,
like seeing drugs?
No, I also went to school in Riverside, so I had to see a lot.
All right.
Like a lot.
Hey guys, Meghan Rienks is here on the podcast. Yay! She's back. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited to be here.
I feel like you've lived 10,000 lives since the last time you were on this podcast, and I want to hear all about it.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
maybe I have.
I got to be on your podcast a few months ago, which is super, super fun. And how's that going?
It's good, right, guys?
Oh yeah, for sure.
The crew that produces the podcast
is
literally sitting here. Yes.
It's fun. I really like it. I'm getting so many DMs now, like because we're on hiatus in between stuff. Well, maybe we're not on hiatus when this is out. Are we? I don't know. Math. We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
But I'm getting all these DMs of people being like, your podcast is on hiatus and I need help now.
Well, so like, it's awesome. It's called Don't Blame Me. People don't know. And you basically get a bunch of voicemails and emails and things like that of people. It's very like Loveline-esque, asking for advice. And it's really cool. But fun. I can imagine that it goes from like very lighthearted questions to very, very severe, serious stuff.
Very dark. Some of them.
The Lisa Schwartz episode has like the epitome of going from like very light to like the darkest the show has ever gone. And I was like, I'm so sorry.
But I think that's what's fascinating, right? I mean, you watch all those or you like think about all those kind of like crime scenarios because they're so dark. And so like being able to hear real people talk about things that are real, I think is fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, I hope all the people that have DM'd you get excited that maybe by now the podcast might be back. Who knows?
Or helping or hurting more people unintentionally.
No, it's back. Just go to don'tblameme.show.
There you go. But today we're here to talk about your new movie, The Honor List.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me how this started from like start to finish. It's your story. Yeah, you came up with this.
Yeah, you've been talking about this movie for a while.
And it's finally years.
Finally coming out.
Yeah. I'm terrified
Very
in a good
exciting.
way.
So how did it start?
So it started with just a typical phone call with my agents, or maybe it was in person. And they just threw out that whole thing of the casual, like, oh, and Meghan, if you ever, I know you've been auditioning for a bunch of stuff, but if you ever want to come up with something of your own, like write a treatment for it, we can totally get a writer. And I was very green, and I was like, this is my homework. I must do this now.
Yeah.
And so and I've always been into writing, except I just can't write dialogue without sound. Everyone sounds like me, and it's just like Gilmore Girls all over again. And so, I had written a treatment for, I think, 5 or 6 different projects, and I kept coming back to this one.
Yeah.
And originally it was called Honored when I was writing all of that stuff, and then I submitted it to my agents with a couple of other ones, and I prefaced it with being like, this one's my favorite.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, wait, we really like this. Also, we totally forgot we told you to do this and can't believe you did it. And
wow, you did your homework.
I very much into doing my homework. I'm not that prompt anymore. They're like, whatever happened to that girl? I'm like, that girl got tired and jaded.
Hey, join the club, lady.
And yeah, so then from there I met with a bunch of different writers, probably an embarrassing amount that everyone was like, just pick one. Because I'm very nitpicky, which anyone who knows me can see I'm an insane perfectionist.
But also when it's your original idea, you get you get to be
and
selective.
It's giving up something that I'm like, I don't feel confident enough to write the script of this. Like, I don't know how to write a script of a movie, but this is like a story that it's fleshed out enough that like I really don't want to give it to somebody who I don't trust.
Right.
And so then I ended up meeting with a writer named Marilyn Fu, who I had known before, previous to this, because she had written this movie called Sister to the Night that was directed by Karen, who
directed my movie.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
The smallest of worlds.
It is the smallest of worlds.
These Venn diagrams.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and I knew Marilyn was going to be the perfect writer because immediately after we had like met and talked, she called me maybe like 10 minutes later, and without even saying who it was, she was like, "Do you think Isabella would have done this, or this?" And I was like, oh my God, yes. And
you're asking all the right questions.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
it
was hard because I met with a lot of male writers too, who then the story just like
we're the worst.
I mean,
not a good time for you guys.
No, it's not. It's really not a good time.
Yeah.
No, I think it's cool that you got a great female writer.
And she and I were just super connected on everything, which was awesome. And then from there, my management had sent it around to some other production teams, and then we ended up with Sinistar, who's Zoe Saldana's production company. They were really interested, and they've got a first look deal at Lionsgate, and so then that was our first pitch, and I definitely was like, oh, cool, we're just like going in for the big guns. Like we can't start like small with like, one of the other like tiny things. Like, no, cool, we'll go here.
Jump into the deep end.
It was the first pitch I'd like ever done, and then right in there in the room, it was like, yeah, we love it, and we pitched it to a room of men, which was really cool to like have a room of men be into a story that was just girls.
Yeah,
and all
tell
about
us
them.
What is the story?
Yeah, so it's about 4 girls who have been best friends since they were freshmen, or since they were like childhood friends all growing up. And they, when they're freshmen in high school, they have this massive falling out. And then we kind of cut to their senior year and none of them are friends anymore. So we don't understand what's really happened in between then. And they're all in these different social groups and friend circles. And as you can see from the trailer, there's like a big event happens, which brings them back together. And they decide that they're going to do this bucket list.
Yeah.
That was like a list of things that they had said they were going to complete by the end of their senior year. And they decided to do that, which is based on a bucket list that my best friend Sydney and I wrote and didn't do anything on. We
So this is a wish fulfillment fantasy.
100%.
Yeah.
We stayed up and watched the sunrise. Like we stayed up until we stayed up and watched the sunrise. We stayed up for 24 hours straight. That's the only thing we did. And then her mom threw away the list because she thought it was trash.
Oh no, so you don't even have the list anymore.
Not at all.
Do you remember any of the things on it?
So I just saw her and we were talking about how much we wish, because we had like broad goals on there that were like make out with a boy. But then we had like really specific ones. I did. I did. Thank you so much. It's a big win.
Did it.
But then we had like really specific ones, like make out with blank specific guy.
Got it.
And I just really want to know who as freshmen did we put on like the top of the totem pole that like by the time then as we were seniors, like I really wish I had known.
Ugh, that you could look at now and be
if
like,
only you could see them now.
How have they aged?
And I think we said like get into NYU and like a bunch of stuff that both of us by the time we were juniors, I'm like, I don't know if I don't want to go to NYU. I don't want to spend all that money and go to college.
But also that sounds like a very mature list instead of being like, I'm going to do a keg stand at a college party.
I mean, we probably also had that. But I mean, yeah, we were also nerdy then too, which is why I think it was like probably a very innocent list.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the same thing with in the movie. It's like they're writing it when they're like 14, 15 years old.
Right.
And so everything on there is like relatively innocent. They're not like, they haven't grown up and matured through high school yet. So a lot of it's
And does it take
stuff.
place in current time, current day?
It takes place in current day. And yeah, it's like in the 2000, we've got iPhones.
Okay, I was going to say, is there a social media element to it? Or did you guys try to steer clear of that? Because I feel like that always gets very misinterpreted sometimes, or just gets overly complicated.
I get very, very annoyed with that stuff. And the only movie that I've seen, like the trailer, have you seen the trailer for Bo Burnham's movie, 8th Grade?
Yes, I did.
It looks so good. And that one, I was like, this one, social media, totally... I totally am for it.
Plays a part,
because he's also, it's a huge character in all of that. For ours, like it's there, like it's Instagram, like we reference that kind of stuff. But that was a huge thing with the directors that we were meeting to go with, and we ended up going with this fantastic woman named Melissa. She was the only one in the meetings who wasn't like, and then we'll have a whole thing where we just like all we see on the screen is everyone's Instagram accounts.
Oh
like,
boy,
you're saying the wrong thing.
Yeah, it feels very now and then.
Yeah,
it has that kind of vibe to it where it feels very nostalgic, even though it takes place in current one day, which I think is really cool, especially for 4 female friends. Because I feel like now young girls in high school, friendships are so disjointed, or they're very like stilted, and they're not very like being able to showcase that, show female friendships like in a real way, I think is really important. Which is so exciting for you.
I'm excited.
So is there anything in the movie that you're really excited about or nervous about?
I saw that it's
referencing something specific.
I saw it was rated PG-13 for partial nudity.
Yep, that's what we're getting at.
Yep, that's what I'm nervous for. The partial nudity. Without giving anything away, because it is a very surprise moment in the movie. I was a part of it. And let's just say the thing that's I'm less nervous for people to see it. It was more nerve-wracking filming it, because when you do partial nudity and it's partial nudity on camera, in order to look partially naked on camera, you are far more naked on set.
In front of a crew of people.
And in this case, about 200 extras.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. They never came back. We were scarred for life. Actually, they did come back, and we had some of the same extras in a following scene we shot like 2 days later. And we walk in and they just start saying the lines that we said and like referencing it, and all of us, our faces go sheet white. We're like, oh my God, you saw me naked. Oh my God. And they were just like smiling, laughing at us. We're like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die right here.
Hollywood is so glamorous.
It's so glamorous.
But this is your movie. You have no one to blame but yourself.
That's true. Every time we had to do something terrible, the girls would be like, this is all your fault. You know that, right? Like, you did this to us. This is all your fault.
But I can imagine that it made you guys off camera even closer friends.
Oh, immediately we had to shoot the scene that required the partial nudity on like, it was at the school location, which was our first week, maybe day 2 or day 3.
Are you serious?
And, so you
got it out of the way.
We did, but we had known each other for maybe a week before that.
Oh boy!
And we all went to go get bikini waxes together. So within the first like week of knowing each other, like Sasha's just like looking at my vagina as I'm screaming. It was very bonding.
Yeah, that was either you guys were gonna be friends, or you would delete each other's phone numbers after that.
When you get to that place and you're just like naked in front of hundreds of people with these other girls and when you see it like in the movie when it happens, I mean, I wish I could like explain like really what it is. It's just more awkward.
Oh yeah,
just in person always.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's very artistic and well done in the movie, and then a fun little nugget for everyone listening when you go see it. Just imagine every single crew member that's just, eating craft services, standing on the side outside of that frame.
Yep.
And how fun that must have been.
Oh, yeah. And then also remember when crowds have to cheer, that goes in later. So everyone just silently cheering. So you never feel more supported than when you're naked and everyone's supposed to be supporting you and cheering you, but you can't hear it.
That's so funny.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's so awkward.
But so also, awkward. It must make any slightly awkward thing that you had to do later seem like child's play.
Now to this point, there's never going to be anything more awkward and uncomfortable. Also, you never realize how like nudity. I've had to do like scenes where I'm in my bra and underwear, or like other scenes for things where like it's like a hookup scene, right? But like you're protected by the fact that like it's supposed, like you're like, it's supposed to be sexy. They're gonna make it look sexy. When nudity's done for comedy, they don't care if you're sexy. It's supposed to be funny.
Funny.
So you're like, nobody here is protecting that I'm gonna like supposed to look super hot. Like that's not the point. Like it's just you're supposed to laugh at my naked body. Like cool, nice.
That's funny.
I love this.
Oh, the themes.
You created this.
I did. I know.
Is there, without spoiling too much, is there a scene that was the most fun to shoot, or like the hardest to shoot in that like you laughed too much, or it was like too ridiculous? Other than this nudity.
That one was definitely the hardest because we also had lines, and apparently there was one point where we do the thing or whatever, and then I just didn't say my line, and I just kept like looking around at the crowd, and everyone, and they're like, "Meghan, your line," and I was like, "Huh." I completely couldn't. But any scene that was just like all the girls together, like that was always really hard, just because we had so many inside jokes from the very, very, very beginning that we would just communicate solely with that, and we're laughing so hard all the time. So I think the scenes where we're supposed to be angry with each other and fighting, because like the girls aren't friends like until really like they don't start the movie off as friends, so it's a lot of like animosity, but we're all really close, so it became like we're laughing and then be like, oh shit, I'm supposed to hate you.
Right.
Let me try that again. But there's another scene that involves eating a copious amount of food. That was one where we just could also just not stop laughing because it was we did a lot of like things that were like terribly miserable but super funny.
That's
the whole whole time. Yeah.
So you actually had to like eat on camera then?
We had to eat on camera, except we weren't allowed to necessarily swallow because of how we shot it. So it would be like a close up on one person and the camera would like spin and spin. So by the time the camera came back to you, you still had to have the same amount of food in your mouth. So you just have like gushy food. And then we had separate spit buckets, but then we all just started sharing one spit bucket.
That's real friendship.
Or the lake day, because it was super cold and I just kept being like, am I allowed to pee in the lake? And Sasha goes, it's really cold. Could you pee? And I was like, sure.
That's
She's like, thank you.
funny.
Where did you guys film?
So we shot, we all shot in LA. So we did some stuff in Santa Monica. We did some stuff on Mount Will. Is Mount Wilson the real name or the name in the movie? Is Mount Wilson a real place?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it a real place? It's a real place.
It's a real place.
It's also what we reference in the movie.
Cool.
So I was like, cool. So we shot there. Our lake scene was... it looks so beautiful on film, and I'm so happy it looks so beautiful because it was one of the grossest things in the entire world. My hair was like hard for days. It was like swimming in a sewer. I think that was somewhere in Malibu, but not the ocean.
Got it.
And then we shot just like a bunch of random places in LA.
That's so fun. Now you've seen obviously the full movie. Have you seen it in a room of other people watching the movie?
No. So I've seen every draft of it. So I've seen and that was all just like private links on my computer and stuff to give notes and edits and stuff.
Right.
And so the last cut I've seen, it doesn't have the audio mixed and didn't have the coloring.
Okay.
Which completely changes it all. And so that I saw that with that's like the locked version with all of the girls. So me, Sasha, Arden, and Carucci, and our director. We all watched that together at our director's house. And I haven't seen like the final mixed version. And I'm saving that until we go to the film festival, and I have to watch it because I just want to like limit the amount of times I have to watch the movie with other people.
You don't have to, by the
me.
way. I've been in your shoes where you don't want to watch your work because you've seen it too many times. You want to watch it with everybody in the room. If you're at a film festival, you can, go in the lobby during the awkward scenes and then come back in.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't watch Dirty 30 with the audience. We came out, introduced it, and then ran backstage and then came out like halfway or towards the end.
But you did watch your first movie. I remember going to your first screening.
We did Camp Dakota. We did a screening.
Yeah, and you guys were so like, ooh.
Yeah, that's gonna be me.
Yeah, but we did a screening. It was like at WME, like at their offices for like executives and then like close friends. And and we just sat in the back and we were all super nervous. Then all of a sudden you just hear this clink, and it was a tiny little airplane bottle of vodka that we had brought with us just roll down. We were just chugging in the car because we were all so nervous about just seeing it. Because
it's nerve-wracking to watch your work in a room full of people.
Yeah, and to hear if jokes land and to hear if like moments, make sense to people, and the whole thing.
And when you're a part of something from the beginning, you can't really blame it on anything else.
Right.
And so like you're kind of like you're so exposed in the sense of being like, wow, if you don't like this, like I can't even be like, wow, I know. I mean, I got cast in it. Like, no, I cast myself in this. Like, this is something that when you're a part of from the beginning, you're like, I can't hide behind saying that somebody else screwed anything up, because if someone screwed up, it was me.
No, exactly. You're like, this is us. This is our project. This is the thing. Wait, what festival are you guys going to?
The Bentonville Film Festival in Arkansas.
Ooh.
It's Gina Davis's film festival, which I might just like swarm her and just like talk about how much I love her.
Yeah, big time.
Well, we are big fans of Gina Davis. Megan was just on the Popcorn podcast talking about A League of Their Own.
Oh, there you go.
Which is your favorite movie, right?
It is one of my favorite movies. It is so good.
Yeah.
I haven't
she's
seen
so
it in
good
so
in
long.
Oh, I thought you said ever.
No, I've seen it when I was younger, but we were talking about that last time. I haven't seen it in so long. The cast is insane.
It's insane.
Madonna's beautiful in it.
Rosie's
my favorite character.
Everyone. It's good.
It's
so good.
Such a great movie.
And talk about female empowerment.
Yeah, and Gina Davis is
before
really
their time.
Yeah, and Gina Davis is great because she like runs like the Gina Davis Institute now. So she's all about like empowering women in the industry, which I think is like super cool. So you guys should be like friends.
I think that's what I'm putting into the universe.
Yeah, make it happen.
Bring like a soft pitch with you to present to her. Be like, you're my mom. Here's my idea.
Right? Yeah.
Hey Gina, you want to be my older sister too? That's cool.
Any of it.
Do it.
Any of it. Now you had to take a ton of time off from YouTube while you were doing the movie. Have you now since been like getting back into that, or? Because, girl, I think you and I are on the exact same page about YouTube.
Well, I mean, we are doing Don't Blame Me on your channel.
We are, which has been fantastic.
Yeah, the audience seems to like that.
They like it. It adds something for me to upload.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I love being on set and I love doing things like that. I've never, and I think people can watch my videos like from the beginning. I've never been great at every part of what it takes to be a YouTuber in the sense. Like, I'm not a solid editor. Like, I'm like, when you're creating content, you have to be like the director, the producer, the writer, the editor, all that stuff. And I'm like, you know, I can wear like a couple hats, but I don't want to wear all of the hats all the time.
Right.
And so getting back into it, like, I think it's also just hard because like you see like just the fluctuation of like what is popular and people are into. And I'm really not good at being fake and doing stuff I don't want to do.
No, for sure. And even when you, and we felt this on Dirty 30, when you step away for even just like a couple months, the whole landscape changes.
Yes.
And then you're just like, is this something I want to be part of anymore?
Yeah. And it's like when you binge watch a show and you're watching it, it's great. And then it comes back for its second season. And then you're like, oh, I don't like this. Like I was only into this because like you get like caught up in all of it.
It's a timing thing.
Yeah. And I think it's just hard because the things that people like to film are not the things that people necessarily enjoy watching as much.
Right. Yeah. It's a whole different taste level now, I think.
I still watch all of your shit though, by the way.
God bless.
I don't watch really anyone. Binging with Babish, you, Sorted Food.
God bless those boys. I love them.
Well, you love food.
I do love food. And I just watched you make Taco Bell chicken quesadilla.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Thank you. I literally am just doing, I'm like, what do I want to do for myself that I can turn a camera on while I'm doing it?
Smart.
And make some content
I just keep filming, making my friends' birthday cakes.
Yeah,
That's literally all I do. I'm like,
great.
I film my podcast and we're already doing it. And also I had to make my friend a birthday cake. So let's film that.
No, exactly. I'm so with you. Except anything else, I just feel if I sit down to try, let's think of a creative idea, my brain just literally goes off and goes, what if there's a new episode of Real Housewives on? We could do that instead.
It's like Unreal. Have you caught up on Unreal?
Oh my God.
Are you caught up?
No.
Don't get her started on Unreal.
One
She's
episode
obsessed.
that I haven't.
Wait, okay, so I'm only 2 episodes in.
Oh yeah, I'm past that.
And you know Melvin Gregg's in it, clearly. Have you seen him pop up?
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
It's
Wait,
phenomenal.
he's the social media star, right?
Yes, he just like keeps popping up. And every time I forget that he's in the show, I'm like, oh my God, Melvin.
Yeah, it's really great. I love that show. It's so fun because I just recently, I'm so late to the Bachelorette game and Bachelor game.
Same.
And so started watching that, watched Unreal, then started watching The Bachelor and was like, oh, this is hard to watch in reverse now because there's too much.
Yeah, because now you know how it all works.
Yeah, or at least like what you think is how it all works.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, we talked to Thomas Middleditch about it forever.
Forever, yes. You want to hear about Unreal, listen to that episode.
Ooh, I'm going to listen then.
So what else are you working on now? I mean, you're going to get ready into this whole press thing, which is going to be nuts. And you're going to have that feeling of like, am I saying the same thing that I really mean now? I'm just saying the same thing for the billionth time.
I feel like what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell a story. And then every time I do another interview, I'm just going to take out like more and more words. And by the end, I'm like, movie done. Me, And I'm like so scared that I'm just going to like keep like summarizing my own words so they no longer make sense.
I think it's a great idea. It's like a performance art piece.
But, call me Shia LaBeouf.
You and all the girls will be able to do it together, right?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of the press together. Everyone's got different like scheduling stuff, but the month of May for me, it's just funny. I finally pulled up my my Google Calendar, and every single day just has like those 3 dots where you have to expand every day because you can't see anything, and it's literally every single day through it. So that's gonna be crazy, but I'm excited because I feel like this has been something. I mean, I wrote the story treatment for this like probably 3 years ago.
Wow.
Something like that. So it's kind of, it's crazy that this is going to be, I don't know, like this has been my pet project for passion project for so long that I'm like, so once this is done, what do I do now?
Yeah, but it's such an accomplishment though, Megan. It's so hard to get things made.
Next to impossible.
It's so hard to get things made. And the fact that you were able to make it happen within 3 years is really impressive. So congrats.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to happen. And the whole time I was like, am I being punked? Like the whole day, I thought I was going to check my bank account and all of my money was going to be gone because they was like, oh, surprise, you have to pay the crew.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Like, the whole time I was just like very like
just waiting
nervous.
for the other shoe to drop.
Yes. Yeah. And then the movie turned out really good. So I was just like, so what's the catch, everyone?
Right.
When is the wool going to be pulled over my eyes right now? Yeah. It's going to be bizarre, but it's going to be fun to run on adrenaline. Like you will be like, I'm a crazy person right now.
Yeah. And I need to learn how to swear less because that's just my biggest issue in interviews.
Oh yeah. Definitely need to prove that.
I know.
For sure.
I did one interview.
You're a bit of a potty mouth.
I did one interview like 2 weeks ago or something, and I didn't swear the whole time.
Good job.
I think.
Maybe if you just like pretend you're like I don't know, in the principal's office or like in church or something. That'll help you like.
I've been to the principal's office. That one's more familiar to me.
Yeah, it's okay. I said fuck on a live Sirius radio show like 2 weeks ago.
Oh no.
So
okay.
it's
Did they just bleep you?
They didn't really. We left the room really quickly, and I was like, I said fuck. That was live, and they were like, yeah, it's all right.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I said fuck during a live stream of a thing that I did with a streaming network, and I was. Meghan was not. I got a lot of eyeballs on me immediately, and I got the everything taken away, and I was just like literally sinking into my seat, being like, "Can they still see me?" They're like, "Well, it's a live video feed, so yes, they can still see you." Just sinking into your chair.
Well, if you need to get it all out before you start your press tour, you can do it here. This is a safe space.
Yeah, just get it the fuck out of your system.
Yeah, I just watched one press thing we did with Pop Sugar, and they bleep every other word that I'm saying, and I'm like, I'm the only one like this.
Oh my goodness.
I think it's endearing. It's the reason we like Cardi B, right?
Exactly.
We
we have so much in common.
Truly.
Yeah, you are the internet's Cardi B.
I wish that was true. I so wish that was true.
Do you? Do you?
I do.
She's amazing.
She's fantastic.
God bless. Nailed it. See? That was really good. That was also every Kardashian.
Yeah. Who started it?
I thought the Kardashians started it because I saw an interview with Millie Bobby Brown on Fallon, just doing that, saying that's how much she loved the Kardashians. But who knows who started it?
Who knows?
Everything comes from RuPaul. That's what I figured out, though.
Oh,
everything starts from RuPaul.
True. Yes.
Everything starts in drag culture and then makes its way over. And then all the drag queens are like, okay, have fun with that word we used 10 years ago.
Yeah, we've got new shit now.
Yeah, Jack, tell them what's up.
I mean, it's just funny to me that like people, like I didn't realize like Yes Queen, like all of that stuff comes from that world. Like it was like totally mind opening to me when I found out.
Yeah.
And like so many of those phrases are like you said, like from 20 years ago.
Yeah. It's a lot, but they're perfect. They're just so leaps and bounds ahead of us. It's amazing. Well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, Meghan, hopefully you would regale us with some answers from Twitter questions.
Ooh, I can do that.
All right. We'll be right back with Meghan Rienks on Not Too Deep.
Not too deep.
You sound exhausted, Jack.
I know. I haven't been sleeping well, Grace.
Oh, well, thank God for today's sponsor. It's Casper.
Oh, the mattress guys.
Yeah, Casper's a sleep brand that continues to revolutionize its line of products to create an exceptionally comfortable sleep experience one night at a time. We've talked about these guys tons of times on the show. They've been super supportive of Not Too Deep, and so we support them in more ways than one because they support us in more ways than one. We literally both have Casper mattresses.
Hey, speaking of support, they have 3 different mattress models that supports you when you're sleeping.
This is nuts. When they first started sponsoring us, they only had 1. Now they have 3. I'm weirdly proud of them as a company.
I know. They're growing. They're expanding. They're diversifying. I love it.
But what are these models?
They've got the original Casper, which I think is
That's what I have.
Yeah, that's like the classic.
The classic.
But there's also the Wave and the Essential.
Oh, these are all so tantalizing.
They are perfectly designed to soothe and cradle your natural geometry, which, by the way, is the nicest thing anyone's ever said about my body.
I mean, that's the classiest way to ever describe a human body. Natural geometry.
My natural geometry.
I will take it. Also, they have breathable designs that help you sleep cool and regulates your body temperature throughout the night. So you're not doing that like kicking the blanket off and then feeling freezing and trying to find the blanket on the floor in the dark.
And it's delivered right to your door in a small box.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
it's magic.
This is not a mattress. You've sent me the wrong thing.
It's such a small box that it feels like you're being like delightfully pranked.
Yeah, and then you open it up and you put your, you lay your bed out, and all of a sudden it just
grows into this perfect size mattress.
Yeah, and what's cool about that box too is it's free shipping. And free returns in the U.S. and Canada.
But here's the best part of Casper as a company as a whole. This still is unbelievable to me, is that they want to make sure that you fully love their product. They give you 100 nights risk-free sleep-on trial. So you have 100 nights with your Casper mattress to decide if you actually want to keep it or not.
And that's amazing to me too, because if you're like, I want the original Casper, you can try it for 99 nights and go,
not for me.
Never mind, I'm going to try the Wave. Try that for 99 nights and you're like, not for me. I'm going to try the Essential. Try that for 99 nights and be like,
I mean, we're not suggesting to do this necessarily because you'll probably be satisfied immediately because they're a great company, which is also interesting.
But you have that option.
But you have the option.
You know you've got this release valve if you're like, oh man, I really made a commitment here.
Yeah, pull the ripcord.
You don't have to worry about it.
Because you spend 1/3 of your life, did you know that, sleeping?
Yeah.
So you should be comfortable, which makes sense. And now they're offering $50 towards select mattresses by visiting casper.com/grace and using Grace, Grace, at checkout.
That's casper.com/grace, offer code GRACE for $50 off your mattress purchase. Terms and conditions apply.
And after you're done listening to this episode, sponsored by Casper, check out Casper the Podcast, sponsored by Casper. It's an entire podcast about Casper, sponsored by Casper. Meta, I know. Available now on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher.
Not too deep.
I am very excited. We have a new sponsor on this episode of Not Too Deep.
Thrilling, even.
I would say. And that is tripping.com.
Do tell.
Well, here's the thing. When I was a kid, when we would go on vacation as a family, we would rarely stay in hotels.
Really?
We would stay in like vacation homes that
Okay.
my dad would rent.
Sure.
Like either in like the mountains or at the beach and things like that. And as I've gotten older, I have been sort of relegated to the tyranny of hotel stays.
Whoa, those are some big words.
Thank you.
Yep.
And what's cool about this new company is they are facilitators of helping you rent vacation homes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because when you stay in a home, you have all these advantages where like you can have like a fully stocked kitchen.
Yeah.
There's more room, especially if you're going as a family. I think that's one of the reasons why my dad used to book us vacation homes is as a family. There's a little more room to spread out. Everyone can have their own room.
And you have all the conveniences of things that you're used to in your home, but it's also an adventure because it's brand new.
Indeed. And I didn't realize because, in the advent of, booking your travel arrangements via the internet, it was all sort of hotel focused.
Right.
Well, now with this new service, tripping.com, you don't have to visit a ton of different sites.
Which is what I do when I book a vacation. I literally have 10 tabs of Expedia, X, Y, and Z open.
Well, you don't need to worry about that if you're looking for a place to stay because on tripping.com, one search lets you compare every home from the world's top vacation rental sites all in one place to find the best deal on your perfect vacation rental.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And like I said, like my dad would book these places because of all the things that vacation rentals have to offer, which is there's a little more privacy.
Yeah, true.
There's more space for everybody. Everyone's under one roof. There's more choices. You can have a fully stocked kitchen. You can have extra bedrooms. Some of these places even have like hot tubs.
Plus, it's a more unique experience than staying in a hotel. That's
Yeah,
very standardized.
I agree. You kind of feel like you're getting like the residential experience.
It's specific to that home. That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about this new sponsor, and thank you guys for
Thanks for
checking them out.
supporting the show.
Yeah, thanks for supporting us, Tripping. And best of all, at tripping.com, you can join the millions of travelers who find more savings with rates up to 80% less than traditional hotel rooms.
Shoot.
Yeah. So this year you can save time and money when you book the vacation home of your dreams with tripping.com/grace. That's tripping.com/GRACE. Find your perfect vacation rental at tripping.com/grace.
We are back with Meghan Rienks. The movie comes out May 11th.
Yes, and then May 15th on DVD.
Sweet. So May 11th, where it's available
Digital.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
That's very soon.
That is, it's ridiculously soon.
Yeah, from when this airs.
Yeah, I mean, it still feels soon now from the time we're recording this. I'm terrified for people to see it. I hope that they like it.
They're going to love it. I think it's great. It's a perfect time for themes like this. I think people are going to really like it. Okay. Speaking of people that like you, Twitter questions. Yes. Here we go. Someone said, Bethany Stanley, yes, OMG, I'm so happy. Ask her what's the most embarrassing thing she's ever done. And what is this with the break in her podcast? Because I'm not happy about it. Well,
wow.
You guys, the second half has already been answered.
So sorry. Hiatus. We're coming back. We're already back now.
We needed a little break.
Yeah.
Most embarrassing I've ever done.
Yeah. That's a hard question.
Definitely said this before, but I think probably the one that I always think back to is like first day of freshman year in high school. I had a not chemistry because I didn't take that class in high school. Was supposed to, didn't do it. Some sort of like general science class freshman year. And we have the kind of classrooms where they've got 2 doors, and one door is usually where the teacher would enter. That's right at the front of the classroom, and the other one is in the back of the classroom. And I was late, and I didn't know that, so I ran into the door where the teacher usually enters through, and he was testing and showing everybody how the emergency shower works. And so the shower was on, and there was water, and I just like walked right into it, slipped, fell, and then he was like,
"Oh my God,
you must be Meghan." I'm the only person not in class, and I was like, Taking my, I still had transition lenses at this point, so it was was nice.
You knew how to make an entrance even back then.
Yeah,
that's like a scene from a movie.
Yeah, it was good. I was just like, I hate my life.
I think that's pretty perfect.
So embarrassing.
Okay, Bish, I'm Savage says, give us a not too deep exclusive about Martie. I'm intrigued.
Oh.
I don't know if you can. I saw you tweet about this. It seems very cryptic.
Totally can. No, I can. And by the time that this is up, there'll be way more information. Yeah, Martie is a lifestyle brand that I launched, and we just also started our subscription box, which is called the Blank Box. And so that's like a monthly subscription box of like cute stationery and stuff. And our first month is themed after the movie.
Amazing.
So,
that's awesome.
There's like a lot of very cute stuff in it. But then the regular shop, we sell like graphic tees and like cute water bottles and like reusable like shopping bags and
that's awesome.
Notebooks and art prints, like some art prints that I painted and all that stuff. So it's like cute.
That's super. And that's
like Anthropologie, but cheaper.
I mean, I'm down.
Right?
Super down.
We all needed it.
Also, you've had this like whole fitness transformation happening over the last couple years.
Yeah, you're like a maniac on that SoulCycle bike now.
She came in hot talking about how her favorite SoulCycle dude is leaving as if there was a death in her family.
I know.
So
it is a death in my family.
So wait, how did this evolution happen?
So I'd very much been, so I grew up dancing. I didn't really, I really did not do any sports. Not a single, I've never been on a sports team. That's a fun fact about Meghan.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, does not play well with others. And so I had danced and done all that stuff, and then I had only really gotten into working out before I would shoot something.
Right.
So like I'd book something, and I'm like, oh crap, like let me go
Here's a
work out. And so I would have that incentive to work out, and then when I was done shooting something, I'd kind of stop and get off that train and that wagon again and stuff. And then so when we started shooting the season 2 of the Hulu show Freakish, I got into it, and I knew it was coming, so I had a little more time to prepare. And I just got more into working out, and I was able to enjoy it more. Yeah. It wasn't just doing it for something because I had so much of a buildup. And then I just really liked it. And then right after we started shooting that, we'd started the movie again. So that was kind of this whole... So I think they say it's like takes a couple, like 30 days or something to like make a habit.
I heard 66 days.
66? Yeah. So it was enough time that I was doing it consistently for 2 back-to-back jobs. Right. And then by the time I was done, I was like, I'm just going to keep doing this.
Endorphins feel great.
Yeah, and it's so great. And it's such a good way to fill your time when you're not working. Like it's so productive. And I get so bored not working like 12 hours a day.
Right.
I don't really even do well with like, oh, like I have one meeting here and something here. Like I like to be stressed to the point of ripping my hair out.
Right.
And so having something I have to do every day is great. And even though I'm unemployed now, all of my friends keep reminding me I'll be in great shape when I do get a job.
That's very true.
So like I could be a Marvel superhero.
Yeah.
I can almost do a whole push-up not from my knees.
Almost.
My wrist cracks after that time I chased Mott's around and I like broke my wrist.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had no follow-up questions on that story.
You wanted to arm wrestle. You didn't want to.
Justin Alongo, which is kind of, this question's along the same lines. What tip do you have to help people stay motivated enough to follow their passions?
Ooh.
I saw you tweeting about like fitness motivation, which I think is always really helpful.
I think it is too. I wish someone had told me earlier on when it comes to like working out. You see people who seem to do everything and you're like, wow, how do they do it? Like I could never do it. And you then once you start to do something, you realize you're like, oh no, they don't have an easier schedule. Like and what I'm experiencing or the things that I have to like jump through to get what I want is not different than anybody else. Like everybody else has the same obstacles. You just have to choose what you want to do.
Right.
And that was the same thing. Like there's this guilt that people can feel with like working out, especially because you're like, oh, I'm not doing something else for an hour. Like I'm being unavailable. Like I'm not being a good friend. But I think it like makes me a better person when I do work out. And so like I'm in a better mood and all that stuff. But when it comes to like the other things, I think like, I don't know, like when it's like with the movie, especially like coming up with that and doing that, like it's just working on something consistently to the point where, I don't know, like I felt like I put so much time and effort and energy into this. There was no way that somebody somebody else would see that and be like, oh wow, someone's taken this much time to do this and put forth all of this. Like somebody else is going to do the same thing. So I think if you half-ass something, nobody really takes it seriously. And just kind of the same thing with like talking about like things that you want to do and things that you want to do. Once you actually put forth the action, you also figure out, is this something I really want to do? Or is this like a hypothetical thing because like I like the idea of doing this, but when it comes to the actual work, enjoying the process of it. Because like I loved writing the story for this and I loved doing the script edits and stuff. So when you can find, I don't know, find happiness in doing the like little mundane tasks that get you to that big thing, it feels a lot better.
Yeah. And I think that's also, there's value in understanding, like you said, things you don't like that you like in theory. And if you don't like them, cutting them loose and trying something else, it doesn't mean you've wasted your time. It means that you're actually saving your time in the long run by not continuing to put energy into something that you ultimately don't enjoy.
Yeah. I used to pine over guys and then go on one date and be like, wow, I don't like you. Why did I waste all this time?
Yeah.
I could have known this.
Exactly.
Mel's nodding too. I guess you're not the only one who's done that.
I literally had a crush on a guy for maybe like years. Like was a, oh my gosh kind of thing. Went on one date and I was like, holy shit, I wasted so much time.
Yeah.
I'm not into you at all.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. That's really funny.
But that's like...
That's because you're not have a crush on them. You have a crush on the idea of them.
Completely.
But that's a parallel to work too.
Yeah.
It's like,
sure.
I want to make movies. And then if you start doing it, you're like, ugh, this is harder and I do not enjoy this. And it's like, I don't know, maybe go become a chef. Who knows?
Yeah. Or in Megan's case, a baker.
Ooh,
a baker.
You love baking.
I do.
It's so crazy.
I would love to
make
go to
these like
pastry
gorgeous concoctions.
Did you see my last one?
That you don't eat?
I don't have a sweet tooth.
That's the funniest thing to me. Is
me
that,
too.
But I guess it's for the art and like there's like a therapy. It's the same way I imagine like people that take up knitting and stuff.
I love knitting.
Yeah, that it's like there's this therapeutic thing to it, to creating something.
Yeah,
but I think those people enjoy the things that they knit after they're done.
Well, my little brother, my little brother knits and he gives them as gifts so that we feel guilty and we have to wear them. Yeah, he made us all, what are they called?
Beautiful.
Snoods one year.
Yeah.
Sure,
yeah, and he's like, you all have to wear those now. And we were like, God,
wow.
Tim.
That's so funny. I knit scarves and I give them to people, but I also have really bad ADHD. So it's something that occupies a part of my brain.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why you don't, since you like savory foods, why don't you like cook savory?
I do.
Oh, you do?
I cook dinner every night and lunch.
Oh, so you just,
don't come for her, Jack.
Don't come for my brand. Have you not? I post about it on my Instagram stories too, but also like, it's just not as cute.
Yeah.
I'm not going to like post a meatball. Like,
a meatball?
Like, that's not cute.
Well, I think some people would like that.
But also, like, the savory foods I make are not nearly as aesthetically pleasing. But like, I'll post pictures of like brunch and stuff.
Yeah, it's true. The baked goods that you make are very like aesthetically pleasing.
Because I don't want to eat them, so I'm not rushing it. That's why I think I'm good at it too.
Oh yeah,
it's because I have endless patience.
Yeah, I could. If I make cake, I don't get to the end.
Yeah, see? Like, which I totally get.
Already eating funfetti icing out of the container. Being
like, that makes sense.
Much such trash, which I love that.
Same
Twitter handle wants to know, who do you like filming with most at Clever?
Ooh. Oh gosh.
Because how long have you been filming with Clever?
I know, right? I'm like, shit.
How long have you been working with Clever?
Oh my gosh. Since I was when I moved to LA. So I was probably 20.
Wow,
19
so like
or
5
20
years ago?
Yeah, 4 or 5 years.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that was like one of the first, it was the first apartment I was ever in. We had cockroaches and we filmed there. And it was the first day I met Lily and she admitted within like 5 minutes, she's like, I'm sorry, I can't pretend any longer. I got really drunk and fell down my stairs and my back is like broken. And I was like, do you want Advil? And so like we became quick friends. But my favorite person to film with, I mean, I love filming. I love filming with all of them, but Lily and I especially have so much fun together just because the show originally, like Beauty Brick especially, was not her. It was supposed to be like guest hosted by different YouTubers.
Right.
But Lily just kept hiring me because she didn't want to like talk to new people. And she was like, I'll just keep having Megan here. Yeah. And so for so long, it was just me and I was interacting with her behind the camera.
Right.
And like we would have this like little banter. And then when she finally like came on camera, I think because I have the most references with her to like back in like when we were like a very ratchet show.
Yeah.
She's probably one of the most fun. But like I love filming with like Jocelyn too. Like Jocelyn's crazy. And
the
fun.
three of you together is just chaos.
It's absolute. That's the word. It's absolute chaos. Lily hates filming with us too. She hates it so much.
Whoever's editing this, it's just it's wonderful to watch. It's a wonderful chaos of just like one word inspires a story from one person, which simultaneously inspires a story from the other person. So there's two dialogues happening at once.
I feel like I have the kind of personality that like I'm like easily hyped up, but like my personality magnifies, like, I don't know, like when you like mixed cocktails and they're bad. Like, let's say I'm vodka, Jocelyn's like tequila. You put us together and like we just see each other. We're like chaos, chaos, chaos. And we just like seek each other and then we just make ourselves even more insane. So like But
you have a similar sort of easily excitable energy about things, everything, maybe.
Yep.
So,
like a dog.
But that's why it's great to have Lily there, because Lily just is basically the John Krasinski just doing asides to the camera the whole time.
It's just like so cynical. It's like Jocelyn and I are like, oh my God, look at this. It spins and it sparkles and it's colorful and I love it.
Oh, it's great. It's really, really fun. Okay, Parker Roberts says, what's the most embarrassing moment you've had or witnessed at the gym?
Oh, I know the answer to this one.
Do you? Of mine or yours?
Of yours. But that time that you fell at SoulCycle. Oh, that wasn't the one you were thinking of?
No, but that is a good one. I did fall at SoulCycle during the cool down, which was really fun, really embarrassing.
Are you like strapped in?
No, so you like get off the bike and you're just like, and I just like teetered over and I had a massive bruise. I also fell off the Pilates reformer the first time I took a Pilates class.
Oh, see, that thing scares me.
It is scary, but I love that class. But the instructor who also owns it reminds anytime there's a new person in the class that I'm in, he goes, oh, don't feel bad. Meghan fell off the first time she was here. And I was like, you weren't even teaching that class. He goes, yeah, we talk. And I was like, cool, thank you.
You're a legacy.
But the other one I would say is when I was in high school, my best friend and I got memberships at the YMCA.
Yes.
And we decided to take a Zumba class.
Oh, yeah.
And like a middle-aged woman showed up to Zumba, like just magnificently drunk, and was like, it wasn't even a sad kind of drunk. It's like she pre-gamed Zumba and just couldn't wait to dance. And it was the most amazing thing ever. And my friend and I were laughing so hard that we both ended up peeing our pants and like had to leave the class because we peed ourselves. But it was so funny.
And that's the day they met Mamrie Hart.
I wish.
Oh, that's, yes. Oh, God. I wish I saw that class. That sounds amazing.
It's funny.
Ashtian Bailey wants to know, would she consider having her own cookbook?
I would love to. I think I'd be more inclined to do I don't know, like I like the idea of doing something that's more like entertaining based book.
Yeah, like hosting and things like that.
Because I like the idea of like including like decorating stuff, and then also what I think is the most intimidating thing about cooking and stuff is having all the food be prepared at the same time, or how to do a whole meal as opposed to one dish.
Yeah.
And so like I hosted my first Thanksgiving this past year, and I made a whole video on that, and half of the video was like telling people like how to plan before you do that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't think that people do that enough. Like it just makes it so daunting and something like, oh, I could never do that because this is just such a huge task. So I think I'd want to do that, or because I like doing brunches all the time. And
that's fun.
And I like things that for a reason, like where if I did like a whole section on cakes and stuff, like I'd love the cakes to be like, some could be like themed on like different things, but like all of my friends' favorite birthday cakes,
like celebratory reasons and things.
And it's personal.
I also think that there is obviously an audience for that because there's so much like, lifestyle YouTubers and things like that, but there's no real, at least I never had like a manual that says, here's all the supplies you need in a kitchen to like make a meal. So I'm like using measuring cups as bowls because I didn't have X, Y, and Z in my like kitchen in New York.
Sure.
And so there's no like, here's a basic list of things you could survive like hosting a dinner with if you bought X, Y, and Z. I think that'd be helpful.
The same thing with ingredients when you have them and you're like, oh, how can I make these same ingredients different things and have it last all this other time? Or like pre-making foods. Like I do a lot of like meal prepping stuff, and then I'll do that with my friends who don't know how to cook. I'm like, we're going to make you 30 breakfast burritos for the month right now. And they're like, but what's going to happen to them? Like, we're going to freeze them. Like, really? And it's like, I think
that's
that would
genius.
be cool. Yeah. Like, that's insane.
Or just like
you have to show me how to do that.
Just having a pantry, like having all of the basic supplies, like flour. I don't
have flour, sugar. Nope.
Milk?
I'm always running out of eggs.
Doubtful.
Yeah, you use pickle juice with your what's it called?
Martinis? Everything?
Oh no, what was you did in your chicken thing? You had to pickle jalapenos?
Oh yeah, I pickled jalapenos in actual pickle juice because I was like, I don't know. It tasted delicious. I loved it. So that's as elegant as I get.
It's pretty elegant.
It's upcycling old pickle juice.
Yeah.
It's,
there you go.
resourceful. I love the earth. I'm very, very green, very conscious. In line with that, Alexandra K. Booth wants to know what is something she has wanted to bake that she hasn't attempted yet. What's like Mecca or like party you'd want to throw or that sort of thing.
So I think Thanksgiving was probably like one of the ones I'd always wanted to do.
Yeah, that's a tall order.
Oh my gosh. It took me 2 weeks to like do Thanksgiving.
How many people were there?
Not a lot.
It was just me.
Yeah.
We had 5 people in total.
Okay.
And
but that's still, you're doing a full meal for and a meal that's like
5
the biggest meal
you?
of the year.
5 including me.
Okay.
Right?
That's still a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 including me. So I think that was one. And it was we had so much fun and it was just like, that was great. So that went really well. Something else I've always wanted to make. I mean, I've always really wanted to get into pastries.
Like a souffle, that kind of thing?
Yeah. And also like, I've always wanted to do, like I've done like cream puffs and stuff.
Right.
And like I wanted to like a croquembouche, but like that's just cream puffs stacked together with like spun sugar. So it's not that hard.
I've seen that where it looks like a pyramid kind of thing. Yeah.
And so like I like eclairs and like pastry stuff I think would be that I would really like to learn how to do, I don't know, like more pastry based stuff. And then
do you watch Great British Bake Off?
Oh, yes.
And do you watch like what's the kids Bake Off?
Yeah, the American one?
Yeah.
Yes. Huge fan.
With like the little kids that make all that bake.
They are incredible. Right now, MasterChef Junior, well, not right now, but I watch MasterChef Junior.
Yeah.
They are so phenomenal and so good. Some of the kids are just so annoying that you just hope that you don't have kids like that one day. When you're like, they remind me of me where I'm like, you're an only child. No one ever told you to shut up. You just keep talking. You're just you think you are so funny and you're 8 and you're not funny.
I know.
Ugh,
one producer laughed off camera at them and now they're just going with the same joke. And I'm like, oh gosh.
It's only child syndrome. That was me. Like I was like, everything I say is important because no one else is here to talk. Yeah, so I think something like pastry. What? I had something else I was thinking that I really wanted to learn how to make.
Eclairs?
Yeah, I've made eclairs though. I don't know what else I would. Oh, I want to get good at bread. Like yeast. Oh, yeah. Yeasty things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like, I think cakes are still my favorite thing. I'd like to get good at like piping. It's like more specific.
Like decorating kind of things?
More specific stuff with that. But I think probably pastries would be the number one.
What's like your number one tip for hosting? If you had one that was just like the most basic.
Plan ahead. Just because like one of the things we did for Thanksgiving is like I set the table the day before. And so that was something like you don't even have to really think about it then.
That makes total sense.
And you've got so much more downtime the days before when you're prepping stuff.
Right.
And just having stuff that's pre-made. So like always at my house, so we like because I use like ingredients that like spoil, like buttermilk and like heavy whipping cream and stuff, I will always make something with those things before they spoil and then freeze them. So like we always have like scones and biscuits in the freezer. And so then for like a brunch or something, you already have a bunch of things like that. You don't have to like pre-make everything fresh right then and there. And some things actually are better when they're made a little bit before. And so that's something that I would say. And then, enlist help and don't be afraid to like have people help you and bring other dishes. You don't have to make everything.
Yeah. That makes it more experiential too when you have people like all working together for a meal together.
Yeah. We did that for St. Patrick's Day and my friends contributed green beer, which they put way too much food coloring in, and then green Rice Krispie treats, and everyone's mouths was just so green all night. And I was like, this is disgusting.
That's gross.
And that's what they contributed.
Fun.
Love them.
Martine Z Toes wants to know guilty pleasures.
Ooh, oh gosh. I mean, I'm not guilty about loving The Bachelor. I would say I'm guilty about being invested in everybody as I am post-Bachelor.
I check their Instagrams.
Yes, and I don't follow them. Like I don't want to follow them, but I check them.
You're very vocal on social media when you don't agree with what happens on that show.
Very vocal.
Oh yeah, there was one time you were going off and I was like, I can't look at this. I haven't watched the episode yet.
Also because I just can see, I don't know, I feel like being on like the side of like the other side of production and stuff, when like production's actually involved and you understand what people's jobs are, like what a producer does.
Right.
And so when you can see things things that are happening and you just see people falling for stuff, or you think that they're portraying this like side online like of them like on TV, and I'm like, no, I know what you're doing, and like you're not doing a good job. And then I get more heated when America falls for things when they're like, I love her, and I'm like, you not see this? This is like there was one girl, I won't name names.
Crystal.
She's no, not this one. But she does rub me the wrong way. There was one girl that everybody loved, and I was like, she's doing my tactic if I was on The Bachelor. Like, she is being like the manic pixie dream girl thing of being like, I'm too good for you, like ha ha ha. Yeah.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about.
And she's acting the whole time. She's acting,
and I check in on her.
Bullshit.
I smell bullshit, and then when everyone else like falls in love with them, and then you just see, and they don't even have. First of all, for somebody who has to cry on camera all the time, like I know when you're like really not feeling it, and then you just like cry, and there's no tears. There's nothing that pisses me off than watching somebody cry on TV. But guess what? There's no liquid coming out of your eyes.
Yeah,
you're just frowning heavily and like deep breathing. That's all you're doing.
Acting technique, guys. Also, I watched the Andre the Giant documentary last night, and Hulk Hogan tried to fake cry by putting Listerine into his eyes. So
why doesn't he just get the artificial tears? There's a stick for that.
It was in the moment. Andre the Giant, he couldn't even get his finger to his eyeball because Andre, sorry guys, spoiler alert, ripped his shirt off of him. So
oh my gosh.
It was very much like watching an episode of The Bachelor.
Similar.
But would, okay, I asked Thomas Middleditch this because he's also obsessed with it. What would your entrance if you were a contestant on The Bachelor be?
Ooh, okay. It would be something that's not too, it would be funny enough that like the girls watching at home would be like, oh my gosh, I love her.
Right.
And like social would blow up, but it wouldn't be so like try hard. I would probably do like for this past season when the people did like car related stuff with Ari.
Right.
I would probably figure out who the Bachelor is as much as I could, and then do something like slightly catered to that. Or I'd like come on and I hate horses. So or like a tricycle. Like I would do something. I would do one of those funny entrances. Like from because you get the most camera time if you have some like an entrance that involves like machinery. That you're riding.
Sure.
So I'd do that, or I'd like come with like. Oh no! I would go with like a llama, and then just be like, I love llamas.
Yeah,
do you love?
This is my thing.
Llamas?
Then you're llama girl. Yeah, for the rest of the time. And Jack, what have you thought about this yet, Jack? What your entrance would be?
I mean, I feel like it's so easy to get like lost, but at the same time, I feel like when you try to like make yourself stand out, it feels like try hard, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of feel like
you don't get much time that first night to hang out, so you got to make a great first impression.
My feeling on this, all of that stuff is you just kind of have to be. I think it was like Stassi was talking about this on the show when she was on. It was just like you just kind of have to be you and not worry about it. Yeah. So like that, I wouldn't try to game it.
Come
at
on
all.
a camera dolly.
I know.
I would just be like, this is who I am.
I'd walk up just holding a boom and then be like, psych, I'm on the show. I'll see you inside.
That is funny. That's funny.
Oh, I like that.
But like, I don't know. For me, I would just be like, I'm not trying to be clever. Like you either like me for me or whatever. But like, I'm not a good reality show contestant.
Say that.
Yeah.
Flat out.
Yeah, I mean,
check my Instagrams. I got lots of selfies on there.
I think I'd be such a good reality show contestant, and I keep begging Mott's that I'm like, would you just let me take, like, we would totally still be together, like, could you just let me go on The Bachelor?
But this, okay, so this plays into this next question. Tori Abra wants to know if you could make a guest appearance on any show, what would it be? I'm assuming that means scripted. But if you chose a scripted show and an unscripted show, which two would they be?
So I'm going to do two unscripted. Would be old Great British Bake Off when we had Mary Berry and all my queens.
God bless her heart.
The best. I lied. Okay, there's too many unscripted. Okay, I'm going to say,
you can say all of them.
Queer Eye.
They're so
fans.
Good. They're so good. They're
fans
so good.
myself. So, and then definitely The Bachelor. I would be, I know I would be such a good contestant on The Bachelor because I would just play the game so well of being friends with all of the girls and just being like, I would just get so many good sound bites. Like the producer would be like, thank you so much for that. I'm like, you're welcome. I got it.
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't need any prompts. No. I got this. Just roll the camera. Give me 5 minutes.
Exactly. And then I would like infiltrate myself into situations with the girls and just be like, and just like downplay everything. And then with him, just do that. Do the thing that everyone that doesn't do when they're like, oh, I'm so nervous. Like, oh gosh, I like you so much. Like instead, you have to be the girl who's out of his league on the show where he's allowed to date like 30 girls.
Right.
That's the girl he's into.
Yeah. The one that's like, I don't need you.
Yeah.
But I'm really cool.
And you're like, deep down, you're like, I'm not cool at all. I applied for a show to date someone on TV.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not fucking cool at all. So that would be that. And then scripted show, Game of Thrones.
Oh.
I'm obsessed. Game of Thrones
Can you
are
do
like
a British accent? Or like a
I can try.
She would learn.
I would learn. I mean, I can just be Harry Potter, Hermione, or Ron. Like, those are the only British accents I can do.
Come in as Hermione. I think like you could, that would fool enough people.
Yeah.
I think I could do that.
Yeah.
Would you and Mott's ever do Amazing Race?
Oh my God. Fuck no.
That would ruin you too.
It would ruin it. First of all, there is no doubt in my mind that he would not make it to the end because I would push him off a cliff or out of a plane. Like he would, oh my God.
Yeah, there's no way.
There's just no way. I'm also not a fan of timed things. Like I couldn't even play like timed video games as a kid. I got stressed out in the movie Game Night when like they were like, you're gonna get killed in 12 hours. And like 12 hours, like you got like a lot of time to like figure out what you're gonna do. I get very stressed out in those kinds of situations. I get stressed out in Pac-Man. Like I would not do well with that. And also you can't really have food, right?
It's like just have like granola bars. But then, they have like eating competitions.
And like Slim Jim. That's like, but that's all like everyone comes back so skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're also running
But that's
around
like Survivor.
World, like,
and I hate running.
Yeah. That's the other thing.
Well, then you're not a good candidate for that show.
Then it's a solid no.
Yeah.
Can I do the Amazing Souls?
Yeah, right.
Well, we're going to give you a gift for being here, Megan, because we're coming to the end of the podcast. But before we do, you answered these questions on the last podcast, but I want to see if they've changed at all. The two questions that I ask every single guest on the podcast. And the first one is, who would you, alive or dead, most want to throw cold spaghetti at?
Okay, so right now, I think last time I took like someone I hated. Maybe I said Jake Paul, which I totally still would. But let's do a loving one. Okay. Right now, I would probably throw it like Michael B. Jordan just to get his attention, and then be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Did you see that? That was crazy. Like, who just threw cold spaghetti at you?" And he'd be like, "I don't know.
Let's get you out of that shirt.
That's crazy. Like, let's get you out of that shirt and into something more comfortable." So I would do something like that, and just have it be our meet cute.
Our meet.
That's your meet.
That's our meet cute.
Yeah.
I love
or meat MEAT.
Yeah, if it had some meatballs in there.
And then, I'm not gonna I already know that.
Yeah, tell us your worst pants shitting story, but only 3 words or 3 small phrases.
Okay.
I can't remember what your last one was.
I know. I don't. I think because I need to knock on wood. Like, guys, I really haven't shit my pants before. This is not real.
God bless. God bless.
I'm trying to think.
Or close call.
I mean,
or it can be we've heard a few pants pissing stories.
Yeah, which I feel like I told the last time because I pee my pants all the time.
Yeah, and you told one earlier in this episode.
Yeah. I pee a lot.
It happens.
Okay, so what would have been the close call? Okay, I guess. This is a close call.
Okay.
Food poisoning. Manicure.
Okay.
Manicure and traffic.
Oh,
it was a close call, but I mean,
it still counts.
She gets her nails done close to her house for this very reason.
She thinks ahead.
She does.
Well, Megan, thank you so much for being here and for being a guest. We've made you a customized fortune cookie, which Julie is bringing out right now.
Oh my God!
You can open it right now and read what's inside.
Oh my God, there is. Did you really make this?
We bought it and opened it
and put a fortune in it.
Everyone will go right now, as in right now, to see your new movie, The Honor List. Seriously, right now. The Fortune said it, so they have to do it. Wow, that's so crazy. It's like Freaky Friday.
Weird.
Oh my God, I love it.
I'm glad that worked out.
Oh my gosh.
So Megan, where can everyone go see Honor List or go listen to your podcast or go watch your YouTube videos?
You guys can download The Honor List or stream it, watch it digitally on May 11th. You can get the DVD on May 15th. And then you can follow me on Meghan Rienks on the internet and things like that. And then our podcast is don'tblameme.show.
Perfect.
Woo-woo.
You guys have so much to check out. So get started. And thank you, Megan, for being here.
Thanks for having me here.
Of course. We'll see you guys next time on another episode. Not Too Deep. Goodbye.
Bye.
Too deep. Too deep. Too deep. Not Too Deep with Grace Helbig.
This episode of Not Too Deep has been brought to you by Third Love. Armed with measurements of millions of women, Third Love bras are designed to fit real women. No more awkward fitting room experiences with their Fit Finder quiz. Third Love helps you identify your breast shape and find styles that fit your body in less than a minute. You just answer a few simple questions with 60 sizes ranging from AA through G, including half cup sizing. They guarantee a perfect
fit, and they value comfort and quality with straps that won't slip, ultra soft smoothing fabrics, and lightweight memory foam cups. And the labels are even tagless, so there's no more of that itchy sensation when you're wearing a bra. Plus, returns and exchanges are always free and easy. Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone. So right now, they're offering my beautiful listeners 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/grace now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/grace for 15% off today.
Not Too Deep is a production of Grace Helbig Incorporated.
Produced and directed by Jack Ferry.
Producer Melissa D. Mons.
With writing by Diane Kang. Audio support by Chris Henry.
Editing by Melissa D. Mons.
And an extra special thank you to Flula for the theme music.